December 6th, 1492. As the sun comes up and the day brightens, you get up with your family members because usually everybody got up at the same time. And I saw this a lot when I visited other indigenous communities. They would all get up at the same time. It was interesting, very, very interesting, because that isn't something that we do. But you would make your way to the nearest river to give yourself a bath. And after getting clean, it was time to paint. So they were known for their body art. And Columbus noted this on his first trip. He notes on Friday, October 12, 1492. And he says, they paint themselves black, and they are neither black nor white. Some paint themselves white, others red. Some paint their faces, others their whole body. Some around the eyes, others only on the nose. We know that they also design their bodies with tattoos. These are some symbols. However, I do encourage everybody to please do their research before doing anything like this in terms of tattooing, because we don't know exactly what these symbols meant to them. It could have been that these symbols were sacred, and it could be sacrilegious to have them on your body. So I do encourage everyone to do your research. There are Taínos that still exist. They were not wiped out, that you can probably reach out to on Facebook in terms of getting the right information before anybody does this. But Oviedo commented on this practice. And Oviedo, so Gonzalo Fernandez de Oviedo y Valdez, he lived on the island and he absolutely despised the indigenous people. He hated them. However, he is one of our main sources of information on them. And this is what he wrote about the tattooing. It is in Old Spanish, so it's going to sound weird. But he says, más en las pinturas que sobre sus personas se ponen, teñidas y perpetuas de color negro, para cuanto viven, rompiendo sus carnes y el cuero, juntando en sí esta maldita efigie. We know that both men and women had tattoos, and it was considered something beautiful among the community. But again, as any human society, we know that there's certain things that are not okay. So please do your research before getting any tattoos inspired by Taínos. Also practice a form of cranial deformation. This man isn't a Taino, but it's an example of how it might look like in life. Of the few skeletons that have been found, because the soil in DR is very acidic, so what it does to a decomposing body is that it makes it dust. But we have found that they did practice skull deformation. So they didn't all need to get tattoos in order to have different symbolism on their bodies. These, made out of clay or arcilla, are body stamps. So using different plants for different colors, they would dip them into the coloring, the stamps, and then they would put them on their bodies. That one up here is actually a ball, and they would roll it in the coloring and then roll it on themselves. And I don't know if you can see all the way on the top. It's an example of what it would look like on the skin. And these were so cool. I was so amazed because it showed me that not everybody wanted to go through the painful process of getting a tattoo. So the women were the ones who worked with arcilla or clay, and they made all of these stamps. And so most of them have symbols of animals, and they're actually pretty small. They're not big. They're not like huge body stamps, which tells you that for them, detail was important. So we know that they used various colors. They had black, white, and red. Y usaban la vija, which we still use to color our food. So they would grind this up, mash it really well, make a paste, liquefy it a little bit to make a type of ink, and they would put their stamps in and stamped it on their bodies. La Guagua. So this they use to make like a blue-black color. It's also used to make a drink. Pedro Martí de Angleria, another person who wrote about the Taínos in that time, Even though he never got to meet them, he was a gossip and he loved everything about them, so he wrote everything about them. He says about this color, he says, el fruto verde es usado para teñir de un color azul oscuro que dura, aunque se le trate de quitar con otros líquidos hasta 20 días. Oviedo, the racist who didn't like them, said the following about this. He says, they use it para pelear. In other words, this was war paint. And he said, píntense con agua, que es la fruta de un árbol de que hacen una tinta negra. I actually couldn't find what they used to make the color the white. So, but we can assume that it had to be something, something natural that they found in their surroundings.